Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I took a little time off camera and just set some things up. Basically, we're going around and running like a bajillion wires and getting all that set up. And I believe I have the stations set up the way I want as well. We're going to need copper, iron, steel, coal, petroleum, and water. And I have these stations set up where they're just basically pulling two of each. The steel and coal is nothing too special. The petroleum and water, I've got petroleum going out one side, water going out the other. And I put just one little stop up here that is going to be our return barrels that are going to go in there. So when the train comes to drop these things off, they'll load those barrels up and take them back. I don't think we have that set correctly as far as the numbers and the... We're basically dropping off a lot more than we're picking up right now. We'll see how it works out, though. We might have to run a train that's just dedicated to empty barrels. I don't know. We'll see. And then I have our station here for just grabbing the blue science. So this is all ready to go. I think I have them named. I do. Very good. All right, so all this is pretty much ready to go. I don't have any of these values set, though. They're just all set to fish. And I think what I'm going to do is just set up everything for basically 1 science a second. And we'll adjust from there. I have been kind of burning through some science here. Just to get some of that down. I think we got most of the early military stuff down. I was kind of trying to pause a little bit just to let some of the military science buffer up since we're not producing a lot of stone. But no, I think it's going okay. I wonder, doing nuclear power. Well, the whole thing is that we need the Covarex. That requires the purple science. So we'll shoot for nuclear power as soon as we get purple science, which should be next. Well, at least the next science that we're going for. So I'm going to go ahead and set up some of these numbers and get everything pretty much ready to go right after the intro. We'll turn this thing on and see if it works. Alright, so a lot more time has passed than what I was planning between the first part of this episode and now. I mean, I know time hasn't passed for you, but it has for me. I found myself in a situation where I could play Factorio, but I couldn't do any recording. So in order to make the most of the time, what I did was just filled out all of this stuff up here. So all these ghost images are currently placed. Now, we're not producing anything more or anything like that. I didn't do any of that. I just basically was filling in the ghost images, making a ton of steel furnaces and a ton of inserters and just to get all these ghost images filled in. So they're ready to go whenever we are, and I think that's actually going to be pretty soon. I've got all this set up. We're taking all of our items here and taking them into a 6-to-2 balancer and sending them out. We're doing blah, 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 blah things. Direct insert on the greens. Then we got the plastic and, of course, the sulfur up here. I'm not too thrilled about the sulfur being made up here and being used at the end here, but I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. How much sulfur are we producing out on the line at any given time? 30. Yeah, so, yeah, not too concerned about it. Then we have all of our red circuits and stuff and doing the direct insert, of course, down here. I do have, I'm cheating a little bit with the barrels. I'm not taking them all the way through. I'm pulling them out right here since that seemed to be a good place to do it. So the empty barrels are going to come around and just be pulled out right here. One going off on that side, one coming off on this side, those combining and going back. And then, of course, blue science we're taking off at the end right here. And pulling that back. I think we'll be okay as far as belt stuff is concerned. But one thing I remembered from the Sushification series is that especially when we start out, there's just going to be a big giant blob of stuff. And my big concern right here is basically keeping the outside of the belt clear so that things like the machines here can actually put their stuff out. Since everything that's being produced is being put on the outside, it seems to get unevenly clogged. I think it's going to be okay. But whenever you get the big initial glob, it takes it a very long time for that to work through the whole sushi system and kind of even itself out. So I put these 2 yellow belts right here on the input in order to help spread that out a little bit. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We'll see. Military or this? Let's go ahead and get nuclear power. Might as well. So yeah, I think this is ready to go. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see what happens. I do have all the trains and everything set up. That's what I basically did. Okay, so that's spacing out a little bit, which is what I wanted. I didn't want it to be solid, so that'll give it an opportunity for some of these machines to place their stuff out. And also distribute the stuff on the belt just a little bit more evenly. Water's filled up already. It could probably go with a little less water. Petroleum is getting there. Let's see, what's our number on plastic? It's currently 70-ish, and we need 180, so a little under halfway there. That's all looking good. You guys are able to produce constantly, at least in the initial run. So are you. You guys looking pretty good. I didn't do any lane balancing or anything like that. We might have to look into that. But let's see. Red circuit machines. Those are all running except for the last one, which is short on wire. But that's producing nonstop, so... I'm guessing what it is these guys are building up their buffers. Once they all get their buffers built up, that should even out. Hopefully. Okay, this last one's moving. Pipe, circuits all look good. How many machines do we have making here? 4, 5. Okay, we're up to 5. 6. And 7? Alright, well that's just going to take time. These machines have got to build up their inner buffers of items before these guys down here can produce. Yeah, they're not even getting anything down here yet. It'll just take time for that to work itself out. How are we looking over here? Things looking good? Is there anything that's like crazy numbers or anything like that? Boy, it's really hard to see with all that blinking around, but I think it looks okay. I think it looks all right. All right, well, I think I'm going to just go ahead and leave that and let it run for a little while and see how that works out. But we are officially making... You know what I didn't check? Is I don't remember if I set up this train, and I did not. So let's do that real quick. You need to pick up there, and we want to add a station to pick up there. Inactivity. 1 second. Okay, that'll take all of that stuff, and that should be good. All right, I think what that means is that we are completely done with this stuff up here. A lot of this stuff up here, I should say. Okay, and I got a roboport. I spent a lot of time building a lot of roboports and things like that. Turns out we can cover this all with just one. Isn't that the way that it goes? Let's see, I had some, I built some storage chests at one point. I think they're probably going to be over here. Yeah, there they are. There's 10 of them. That's probably more than we need, but it'll keep things a little bit more organized. Let's get that. Let's put it down here toward the bottom. I think it just needs to be in construction range. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that needs to be in logistic range for that to not go blinky blinky. That'll be fine. Let's see. How many robots can I support personally? I think it's only like 20, right? Yeah, 20. How many do I have? I have more than that. Let's put 49 in there. And that'll be good. And yeah, then we can just we can take out some of this stuff. Let's turn off my robots. And let's see. Yeah, we don't need you guys. Wrong deconstruct planner. We don't need you guys anymore. We don't need any of you guys anymore. We don't need any of you guys anymore. None of this over here is needed. Let's come up here and grab this blue science. Pipes, that gear machine, any of these engine machines do we need? I don't think so. We might need if we want to make some more robots, but I think we'll have a better robot maker here at some other point. That's a lot of batteries, and we don't need those anymore. Lubricant machine, let's go ahead and leave that there. You guys are going to make green circuits, and we're still going to need those because that is going to be feeding. Oh, we're going to cut off that supply. We don't want to do that. Yeah, because that's going to be feeding the mall. And is anything else over here feeding the mall? Just the red and the green circuits. Why are you guys? Oh, because of power. Let's see. Power can be fed up for the top, right? Come on, guy. Charge up. There we go. That steel line is going up to feed barrels. That turns out to be somewhat important too. But we can run that from a different place that's a little less spaghettified, if you ask me. We don't need you anymore. Or that water line going down. And we probably don't need nearly this many red circuits. Let's take out this first part here. And I think that can just continue on. All right, and I think that will be a nice big load off. And all that stuff will get back up there, and we'll take that on at another time. This station, I think we can go ahead and take down. Do I have another RoboPort? I don't. I made like 30 million of them. and have not used any of them. All right, we'll go ahead and let the robots do their magic there and get that all cleaned up. And let's see, I think our next step is going to be to get to start bringing in some more resources. Or maybe to go and just check the map here and see how we're doing. We have a stone there, we have iron over there, we have coal there, and stone there, and uranium there. This looks like it's going to be a better place to grab. Because we're definitely going to need stone, and probably going to need coal. Actually, can we maybe make some modifications up here to this? Okay, I think the stone already is. We're balancing the coal line. Iron. We're not going to need nearly as much iron up here now. Not nearly as much steel, but while I'm thinking about it, let's just continue with this iron line maybe, or this steel line. Let's see, you should be red and green. Get that corrected. You guys are not getting any power anymore. Okay. I missed a lot of stuff, didn't I? You would think that a deconstruction planner would be quite complete. I guess I was being careful. Go, we can do that right there, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the robots will go ahead and should build that for us. Ah, yep, there we go, right there. Oh, except you guys aren't getting power. All right, very good. That's going to greatly decrease the plastic demand, the coal demand that we had, so that will get more coal up to power, which will be a very good thing. It's going to decrease iron demands so that our mall can go better. Right. And I think this will be good for a while until we get the mall situated and moved to a different location, which I think is definitely in our future. Because, yeah, I'd like to get rid of all this stuff altogether and basically dedicate all these resources going down to the base proper. All right, where's my car? It is right down here. All right, let's I was going to go and do some outpost planning, but I think the deconstruction there was a little bit went a little bit longer than I was stalling. I was stalling is what I was doing. Let's come down here and check our blue science setup and just see how that is humming along. See if there are any adjustments that need to be made. Can we just go ahead and throw this blue science in here? Be fine. It's all going to the same place. All right, let's take a look. Numbers are kind of hard to see, but we are releasing steel. We're releasing petroleum, copper, and iron. Don't see any water going out. But water is full, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, that looks good. You guys are turned off, meaning that we have enough out there. You guys are turned off, meaning that we probably have enough plastic out there. Okay, that's looking good. You guys are still producing full-time. You guys are still producing full-time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red circuit makers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red circuit makers. Those are all working. Pipes are backed up. Gears are backed up. We have last blue science is working. All the blue science machines are humming. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's look at production. Let's go 1 minute out. Blue science. Let's just check all of our numbers here. Blue, gray, red, green. I would think red and green would have been going for an hour now, right? Okay, those are like almost up at 60. These guys are going to probably be off. Military is going to be way off because we don't have we didn't have enough stone bricks going in, and we still don't. But as far as the blue science is concerned, I'm absolutely thrilled with that number for a sushi science setup. All right, this last machine here is stalled out because it needs engines, but we have some on the way, and we don't need actually 16 machines. I think it's actually like 15.4. So that might be a little bit expected. Or just me making excuses, one or the other. Well, I'm going to let this run a little bit. We might have to bump up some of the numbers. But for right now, I mean, it's looking fine. Looks like most of the machines are running. We do have some spaces on the belt. You can see that the top is favored heavily over the bottom. Probably about a 2-to-1, maybe, something like that. But it really hasn't been a problem. As long as there's spaces on the outside of the belt, I don't see any reason to try to correct for it. Okay, that guy's kicked on now, and he actually has an engine in the back. Good. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I think probably in the next episode, what we're going to want to do is get a lot of this production up, because we might not even be making enough to support these guys down here. Like, I know we're not making enough stone. But we may start running into problems with iron and copper here soon. So, yeah, I want to go ahead and increase production just basically all around. Maybe close these guys down someday. I don't know how we're going to transition all that over, but we will here very soon. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.